Hi guys, welcome back to Two for Joy. Just a quick video about England's performance last night and to talk about Newcastle's Three Lions and the Geordie Maradona. Let's get into it. Basically last night, watching England play Andorra, woeful game for domination that we had, minimal chances. I thought England were rubbish, to be fair. I thought there were a couple of standouts. Most of all, Elliot Anderson. What a player. I'm so gutted that he's at Forest. I'm so pleased that he's getting a call up for England and he's starting. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Sitting in the sixth role, he was fantastic. Seemed to break up play, stopped everything going forward. He was great with the out ball. He looked lively. He looked like he wanted the ball all the time. Exactly what we saw from him when he played for Newcastle. He's a fantastic player that just needed a little bit more time and more game time to get to his full potential. And I really feel he's coming into his own at Forest. And I think good for him, good for Forest. Gutted that he's not with us, and hopefully one day that he'll come back to St James's Park and we can see him play in the black and white again. But as far as the lineup goes, so we have Pickford in goal, Reece James at right back. Reece James, I thought, played well. I think he's a sound right back, gets forward. The crossing ability, really good last night. I before the game would have said I'd like to have seen Tino Livramento start at right back, but Reece James played really well. Mark Gahey with Dan Burn at centre back. I thought both played well. It's probably the centre back pairing that I'd have picked. Lewis Skelly on the left. Personally, I think having watched Reece James play, I'd now swap Lewis Skelly out for Tino Livramento. I think Tino offers something different down the left-hand side. The inverted fullback, he's done it so well for Newcastle. I'd definitely put Tino in that role. I would still leave Anderson sat in the sixth role. We've got Declan Rice, who was supposedly sat next to him, but he wasn't. I think everybody could see that Declan Rice and Eze were playing as kind of an 8 and a 10, with Madueke on the right wing and Rashford on the left wing, Kane up front. And personally, I think the way this lineup doesn't work for us is that we dominate possession against teams like Andorra. This, is a given. Our league standing in the UEFA rankings compared to Andorra is night and day. But we didn't seem to be able to create the chances that we probably should do and finish them the way we should do. And this front line needs to be revamped. And I look at the big names and the big teams, and we've done it over and over again. We play Harry Kane up front, we play Rashford on the left, or we'll play Cole Palmer on the right, or Bukayo Saka on the right. And whichever way we play it doesn't work. We play Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham and try and fit as many 10s on the field as we can, and it doesn't work. And I think the biggest thing is about creating a good team and not 11 good players. And we've always had this problem of we've got great players, let's play great players. So I'll post up the graphic of where I think the team should go and talk you through it. So the back line that I'd pick, Reece James, Mark Gahey, Dan Burn, Livramento. I think Livramento would offer us a lot more going forward than Lewis Skelly does. Elliot Anderson sat in the six, and I personally would like to see Rodgers come in on the as a left 8 and Gibbs White as the right 8. I think they both do it really well for their clubs, and I think this is something that, rather than playing players out of position or fitting them into a system, I think we should stick to players that play well for their Premier League teams in those positions that they're accustomed to, and that's probably where we'll get the best out of our England squad. Rather than picking names, just going into a match and picking the players that know their role, know their position, back to front, and then work from there. I'd like to see Gordon come in on the left as a starter. I'd like to see Bowen come in on the right as a starter. and Ollie Watkins up front. And I feel having a little bit of club connection between the group would definitely help. Like having Morgan Rogers sat behind Ollie Watkins, they play for the same team. Having Livramento, Gordon and Byrne on the left-hand side, is they play for the same team. They're used to it. It's trying to have a makeup that suits our style of play, and yet at club level they're used to doing the same things. I did feel like you don't really see patterns of play with England. You don't see, if you watch Man City or you watch Arsenal or you watch Newcastle, they have an identity. They have their own patterns of play. They have their own makeup. They have their own way they'd like to play the game. I feel like with England, it's chuck 11 players on the field with names and just expect them to come up with some sort of philosophy on their own. Even with Thomas Tuchel, who I thought Tuchel would come in and be the tactician, it doesn't appear that we have much of a tactical prowess going forward. I mean, we're playing Andorra. This should be a game that's a shoo-in. But I thought when Gibbs White came on last night, he looked lively. He wanted the ball. He wants to impress. And I think from the team that I would pick, you've got players in there. Elliot Anderson would want to impress. Morgan Gibbs White would want to impress. Morgan Rogers would want to impress. Anthony Gordon doesn't get a start. Jared Bowen doesn't get to play as much as he should. Ollie Watkins gets the 15, 18, 20 goals a season at Aston Villa. He's faster than Kane. His movement's better than Kane. I know Harry Kane is a great striker. He's a fantastic striker, but he's a fantastic striker in the setup that works at Bayern Munich. He was a fantastic striker in the setup that works at Tottenham. I don't think the setup works for him at England. And we always see Harry Kane drop deep, drop deep, drop deep. I want my striker to be playing on the line. I want him to be on the last defender. I want to be able to, get in behind, have a chance. I want him to be in the box when the crosses comes in. He always looks, and I know he's at the age he is now, he always looks a yard off it. If you get him the ball in the right area, he'll score you a goal. If he has a half chance, he can create something from nothing. He's a fantastic finisher, taking nothing away from Harry Kane being a world-class striker. But I don't believe he works for our England setup. Let me know in the comments below who you'd like to see in your England 11 and whether you agree with any of the suggestions that I've made. And if you've liked the content, give me a like, give me a sub, hit the bell notification. Be sure to check out my other videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.